No, it's not about your spot. No, like, we can host like 20 people, you know?
Wow, he's streaming on YouTube,
chatting
right?
with Una right now.
Yeah, like just send him the link, have him jump in.
Awesome.
You guys, we're streaming on YouTube, so welcome everybody.
Hello.
I spelled trash wrong. I'll correct it again. I put trash talk tash art panel. Damn it. I'll have to fix that.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. I mean,
are we live? We're live.
We are absolutely live. Folks.
All right, we're live. All right, let me introduce everyone.
To day 4 of Crypto Art Week. I have the great pleasure of welcoming you to the Trash Art panel. And Serge is our moderator. I am your host, Lady Phoenix, and joined with my co-host Coldy here. This should be a very entertaining panel. And we're excited to have all of our guests. In fact, if you're watching this and you're a lady in the trash art movement, we would love to invite you to this panel. I just kind of roasted the guys a little bit to say, they said, well, why didn't you invite ladies? I said, well, when I sent my invitation to you, why didn't you say, hey, there's this awesome lady that should be on the panel with me? So, you know, we started this conversation privately talking about unity and the community being together and having more openness and diversity of voices, diversity of art styles, diversity of gender, diversity of ethnicities. And I think that we are looking forward to representing a few of those lanes of diversity here in this panel. So again, if you're a lady, these guys, and you're a friend of any of these guys here, they've been instructed to send you the Zoom link so you can get on this chat with us. I'm sorry, I don't know everyone in the community. Coldy doesn't know everyone in the community.
A few ladies have responded saying they're happy to watch from the sideline, so I won't call them out by name, but they're here with us.
Wait, what did they say?
Like last minute anyway, so yeah.
Yeah, that's understood.
They said they'd rather watch from the sidelines?
Yeah. A few people. I won't name anybody, but.
Okay, so there it is, guys. We've reached out.
Open.
Trying not to make this a sausage fest. Ladies, you're still at any point that you want to jump in and even say something, dip in for a comment and dip out. You're fully invited. I
mean, we can invite Angie too. I wouldn't say she's a trash artist, but I'm sure her commentary on the movement would be valued and her female perspective.
Great. I'm okay with that. DM her the link. We've actually had Angie. Seems like we've had Angie on another panel.
Have we? Okay.
I just gave it to her.
Okay, good. So I was gonna say that she seemed like she wanted to be on the AR VR panel too. She has a wealth of knowledge to share, so we're happy to invite her to the Trash Art panel to, you know, give her insights and perspectives on the movement, on the scene, whatever it is. So if you guys want to wait a sec for her to jump in, we can, or moderator Serge, you can kick it off.
All right. I'll kick it off, and if anyone will join, we'll just, you know, welcome. So let's name each other. So, well, I'm Power Serge. I'm just doing crypto art news. Rob Ness, next one, right?
Yeah.
Leader of Trash Art Movement. Started minting NFTs, I believe, in 2017. Maybe I'm wrong. Which makes him original gangsta crypto artist.
Thank you.
All right, XIBot. Creator based in
Guayaquil,
Ecuador.
Exactly.
Right. Being a designer, he has got into crypto art in April 2020. So you're a freshman.
Yeah.
Started in Pixel Chain, and the rest is the history. All right, Bruce the Goose, who is on the phone with us. He's an experimental crypto artist, podcast host, and also creator of NFT social network called NFT Hub. Jay DeLay, crypto artist, musician, art educator, author of A Digital Trash, and creator of Spam Project. Eric, aka Second Realm, experienced designer turned into a crypto artist. And last one, but not least, Colin, aka Rect, early creator on Rarible, who has collaborated with the J, Second Realm, others, and made a lot of trash art. All right. I don't know what to start with. I prefer actually to let anyone say anything they want, like, jump in, trash talk, whatever you guys want. I think we want it to be live. So I don't know. I'll just bounce to the first question. What does it trash mean to you? Whoever wants to speak up, go ahead.
I'm here to
Well, I
learn
think
about trash art, so go ahead, guys.
I was
Yeah,
actually
go
going to say, I thought it was appropriate that Rob go first. But
Yeah.
If
Uh,
Rob's not going to go, I'll propose that, trash art is a very effective onboarding tool to
Yeah.
crypto art. That's how I would.
100%.
It's not about
Very
the look of the product or the trash can. It's about that gap between non-artist and artist and bridging that gap. Anybody can make a can pretty.
I totally agree.
Nice.
I think it couldn't be better put. It's a way to democratize access to crypto art. When I first got into the scene, there was a lot of talk about what should be highlighted to legitimize crypto art, maybe to the traditional art market, or to make sure that the platforms were doing well. And trash art seemed to be a threat to some people in terms of taking away that legitimacy in crypto art. So to me, it's one of the first truly crypto art movements that opens up anybody's ability. There's no barrier to entry, no platform you have to join. It's open. I think a lot of the early stuff was minted on Rarible because of that, open to anyone that wanted to participate. And there was no kind of level you had to achieve. You could just come where you were at.
Is it a meme? Trash
Good
can.
question. Good question.
well, I think the trash can is a meme for sure, but I don't think the movement itself is a meme. The movement is bigger than just the art, right? I think that's what Colin just said and Jay said. We're here. We want to onboard as many people as we can into the NFT experience. That's sort of my perspective on it. I just want to take a step back real quick and say a little bit more of an academic approach here. The idea, the term trash art was used to denigrate artists on Super Rare. Let's not forget where that came from. But we've grown beyond that and past that. And we're here to sort of onboard as many people as we can. It's not a membership, right? It's a movement. It's not it's more of like a citizenship. You decide whether you want to belong to the movement or not.
And we have to remember there's a strong American history for reappropriating terms that are negative terms. The term Yankee Doodle Dandy, that was something that the Brits called us to make fun of us, right? We took it over and said, sure, we'll own it, right? We're Yankee Doodles, boom, let's make a song. So it's about reappropriating and returning that energy to, the forces that were negative towards trash art.
That's right.
So it's turning negative energy into positive energy?
I would say so.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think to take that even further, like I agree, Colin. You're taking something, like a label placed upon a certain aesthetic that's meant as an insult in a way, and turning it into something that is meaningful and powerful for you.
Mm-hmm.
But also, like, anybody can look at a beautiful sunset and appreciate it. I think it's more It's more of a challenge for the viewer to be able to look at trash and be like, "Oh, that's beautiful." I love it.
Beautiful
Yeah,
trash.
turning trash into gold. I mean, me personally, it's funny because when I made the piece and all the stuff that went up, that happened afterward. I mean, I said I didn't have to make it, but I made it as a kind of a statement, primarily because at first, I made two like obscured glitch trash cans on Super, and like the message wasn't gotten. And so I'm like, I'm just going to be a little bit more blatant. And then that was when kind of everything kind of happened. But in like hindsight, the way the transmission's working is kind of memetic in a way. I was part of the Rare Pepe crew and all that, but as far as like studying like memetics and like how that works and transmission of artwork and the fastest of it, I think the trash stuff works perfectly in a sense. It's almost kind of like in the same vein. So it really kind of is memetic in a way. And people seem to enjoy doing it, and I can't even. It's ran away from me, really. It's like the girlfriend that just cheated with everybody. It's hilarious. And it's great. It's phenomenal. And to be honest, it's not even a part of me anymore. It's like everybody else's has a certain vibe and a certain affinity to it, and whatever they need to express, they go full force with it. And of course, there's pushback still on it.
Mhm.
And I think that's another part of the reason why it's attractive. Okay, because you have some individuals that are like, oh, it's not a floating cube that does mathematical approaches to it. Thus, it's trash art. You know what I'm saying? So there's like a lot of things kind of going on, and I think that is part of the allure of it. It's simple. It's kind of a fuck you, and they enjoy doing it. And so, I mean, honestly, that's kind of like how art history has been kind of like through the timeline. That's how it's always been.
Yep.
And so, I mean, to be honest, I'm just kind of humbled to see all this stuff going on. And it's
I think
just,
early on you gifted it to everyone.
yeah,
Essentially, you said, I give you the trash art. I don't care if you remix it. This is the world that I want you to enjoy.
yeah.
Absolutely.
And
Uh-huh.
yeah, sorry. When I put the trash gallery together, it was kind of funny because, oh, by the way, Sergey, thanks for providing the plot.
Oh,
But it's
man,
funny,
no problem.
as I was putting like every single piece in there, I started like realizing, I'm like, holy shit, man! I'm like, every single part of the globe was part of this, like that one piece where Lapine Mignon made with the potato and sent it around. I mean, that just blew my mind. I'm like, holy crap, this is meaning something to people. So I just kind of had to step back and kind of just go, whoa,
Yeah.
that's crazy, and yeah, just phenomenal. So I mean, to be honest, all you guys, I love all you guys for doing that. And yeah, like I said, it's not even a part of me anymore. It's just it's its own thing.
So you're not claiming copyright royalties, right, Harlan?
Yeah, I think that should be a topic
Yeah.
like very soon for sure, like in this chat, because I had like a bunch of these like paper cards and like kind of like Bob Dylan asked like, what is trash art? Flip, copyright a meme, stuff like that. So yeah, we can keep going for sure.
So if trash art is a meme, if meme is art, is it?
Yes, totally.
Oh, absolutely.
Totally is art.
Do you think it's taking over? I mean, I'm sorry, not taking over, taking off as art. Like,
Yeah,
do you see it? Do you see it changing? Do you see it taking part in sales?
Yeah, well, the thing is that memes kind of help build this thing. The rare Pepe Telegram. I mean, when I joined that thing, it was like only 20 of us, and we were just kind of just cracking jokes, making these. We kind of made them like purposely crappy, like the cards, because that's kind of like meme culture. It's like, how quick can you slap this together? Don't make it so perfect,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. That's kind of like how just meme art, the aesthetic is. Don't be perfect with it. If you take something and you chop it, don't chop it perfectly. Make it like so it looks dirty, and stuff
Leave the
like
watermark
that.
then.
Yeah, and that's the aesthetic of like meme art, And so so when I joined the Republic Telegram, it's like this was global, I mean, the history of it really hasn't been cemented yet, but I mean, if you look at the book of all the cards that were made, I mean, the Rare Designer was in there, and there's a bunch of other people that were involved, but that was the first global crypto art movement, really, in a sense. And so that, I mean, honestly, like the beginning of this stuff was memetic to begin with, and of course, spells of Genesis and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, memes help build the house. So the fact that it's kind of going full circle, and I noticed that Rarible, the reason why I was attracted to Rarible is because it had that like openness where you can make something really quick. If you wanted to make a meme and sell it, you could do it. And I'm like, this is where it's gonna happen. I already knew it right when I used it. I'm like, this is where the first like big meme is gonna be sold, and stuff like that. And also I could just make stuff without having to ask questions or ask, should I be able to cite this or cite that, or I mean, I made a couple pieces that were about citing, and I kind of thought it was ridiculous. But
do you feel like you have to ask yourself a question if it's arty enough if you're minting not on Rarible?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Do you feel like you have to self-censor yourself when you're minting on super rare, for example?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when they started,
there's like a pressure.
Yeah, and I got to the point where it was encroaching, and I'm just like, I just can't, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of great artists in super. Don't get me wrong, but like if you want to make any type of dangerous art, it's not going to happen. I mean,
when you say dangerous,
I'm gonna critique super rare right now. What
Let's
do I
make
see
dangerous art, man.
like what do I see on Super Rare right now? Mostly 3D boards. That's about it.
Yeah.
You know, and like don't get me wrong, I love 3D art, but like the safest thing is to make fantastical 3D art that doesn't really challenge anything. So like that's just my opinion. And I love that stuff though, but I can't be on there because I can't make any like really type of like just aggressive kind of stuff, you know, if I wanted to. So
risky, yeah.
When you
All right,
say Rob,
go ahead.
I was say Rob, when you say dangerous, I immediately sort of reacted and thought not really dangerous in terms of theme, but dangerous in terms of what Super Rare's leadership would want on the platform.
The powers that are challenged.
Exactly. Yeah. So like I did a lot of I don't know, could be politically dangerous Trump art, right?
Yeah.
Nobody said a peep. That's not an issue. But you know, remix a Hackatow, and we've got the world coming down on you, right?
Or
Seriously.
remix the Home Depot toter.
Right. Exactly. So it's like you know, when we say dangerous, we don't mean dangerous. I think you don't mean dangerous in theme.
no,
dangerous.
not at all.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure people can construe like what I mean, but
I did make an NFT on Hive that had gun plans as part of it. Just Hammer Hack Bear. Just seeing. There is some
but, I
dangerous
mean, like,
NFTs.
in Super Rare's credit, I mean, you know, those are my critiques. Okay, so it's not like a right or wrong with that, but you know, you can kind of see now the curatorial nature of what they look like now. Like if you go on the Super Rare feed, you can kind of see the same type of material. So you can kind of so they've kind of like already cemented like their style, which is fine. Same with Known Origin. Known Origin is more like futurist in a sense. So it's kind of just of a natural play out. But the bottom line was I just wanted to express myself and you know what happened. And you know Zach Yanger says, you know, read the terms of service and this and that. Like I didn't know what the terms of service was. Like I totally knew what the terms of service was. Like that wasn't the point. The point was to make a blatantly like in your face, this is a message and I know what the results are probably going to be. Like I wasn't surprised when I got John Crane's notice. Like I like not at all. Like you know he asked me, you know, and I told him, I said, you know, I'm cool with it, no big deal, you know. But the point of the matter was like I had to make a statement at the time. I was angry about Max getting let go because I mean everybody knows Max's art's tight, you know, straight up.
Well, and now if you go to the Super Rare gallery on OpenSea, it's the 4th or 5th most viewed piece of art in the whole gallery for all of time. It's above most of the Robbies.
Right. So, and you know, it's funny. I mean, time will heal all that stuff. So, like, a lot of the people right now are kind of like, oh, you know, the crypto art drama, this, crypto art drama, that. Oh my god! And it's like a month away from now. Like, crypto art timeline moves so quick. It's like a month is a year. So it's like right now, I almost feel like I'm like in the dumps right now because it's like I can't I'm artistically right now. I'm trying to find some new avenues, but it's like you dip out for a week and it's like holy crap, what is going on right now? What is this? Like there's a new art movement per week now. Like dude, Rarible just like war speeded that. Like thank God Power Surge exists because someone needs to do something daily.
You don't know what's happening.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that you're able to do it daily, that's like so important, man. Instead of like, you know, some people that probably would do it like once a month or something. Like crypto art moves so quick. So yeah, so thank you for doing that.
I appreciate how you changed up the style, Power Surge. It used to be all about top sales, but now it's more about what's going on, you know, the real story.
Yeah, kind of evolved. Yeah, thank you. I wanted to ask you about the importance of taking risks. Does it help the trash? Or, I mean, for any artist, what's your opinion? Like, is it important to take risks as an artist? And does art help to, I don't know, help others to overcome risks? What's the role?
Yeah. Can I jump in here real quick? I'd love to hear from Exabot and Jay on this.
Yeah, please.
For me, in terms of risk, like it's part of the reason I actually started minting almost exclusively on Rarible. I was on Known Origin and I really liked the platform. I liked the aesthetics. I liked a lot of the artists. And at the time, I had thought about applying to Super Rare, but had seen what happened and made a video, but pulled my video just because it wasn't what I want to do, not to knock what they were doing. But it just wasn't what I was interested in. I came from a punk background. Like I grew up in the punk scene and was in garage rock, and it was all about kind of do it yourself. And there was something limiting about only being able to mint a piece every 24 hours or to have it like meet up to these standards of a platform. And there's something very freeing about being able to mint an unlimited amount of work. And just like, if you want to do it, do it. And to me, that's creative freedom where you are willing to take risk. And I wasn't able to do that, I felt, on other platforms. So I moved exclusively to Rarible. And I think any open platform is going to have those benefits to artists where you're willing to take more risk. And that's a lot of freedom, you know, but with that freedom comes risk as well. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I really appreciate the open community that was created there during the trash art movement and still kind of thriving, you know, and
Yeah.
it's interesting to see where it's going.
Yeah, really. If you look for innovation, always you have to risk yourself. So I was not. I didn't want to enter in the space because I saw these remixes and copywriting stuff that I really didn't understand. Because I come from design and creativity, when you have to avoid all that. So for me, it was really a risk in the start, because I simply start from scratch. I just said, okay, I will fire all my clients in design and brand and stuff. I fuck everyone. I don't want to know about anything from them because it's not working. So I've been in the space like really since late 2016. I saw all these super rare and Rarible growing, and I was always like thinking about what the fuck is this? Is this valuable? Why are they remixing? Are they just using effects in Photoshop? What the fuck? Where is the innovation? It was really, for me, a case really hard to, you know, like break that paradigm that I had. Like, okay, let's do it. Just jump on it. I'm an open, always looking for collaboration, innovation, open for everything. I'm not in any platform created. I'm just like trying to experiment with OpenSea first. No, Pixel Chain. That was the first because I was looking for on-chain. So it was perfect. Pixel Chain, starting from scratch, making myself 10 million pixels with roll. I started making all that stuff. Then went to OpenSea to see how it worked, right? For the rewards in roll. There I was like, okay, if I want to enter in this curated platform, I have to wait like 2 months, 3 months on each of them. It's like, what the fuck? I'm waiting for them. Like, okay, what I'm doing. And I said like, okay, let's start like trying out Rarible, because I was like a year looking at Rarible, how it was like going on. And I just saw this all whatever art that was trash art, like, you know, it's like whatever, just copy and paste, remix, put in there, low resolution, pixelated shit. Like,
Yep.
really for me, it was like, wow, what the fuck is this? Okay, let's leave the past behind and start from scratch. Okay, this is art, because here in my country, it's fucked up. Design and art is like, does not exist at all. So it's really hard to start like going into art and experiment. But I'm a son of internet. So all my life, like 20 years, I have been working remotely, doing crowdstorming, collaborations, and I got in the space basically with that, doing product design for a future of banking, a Dutch bank. Like, what the fuck? I just entered Ethereum. I was like, okay, this is the place. Let's go step by step. How it's going? Okay, then NFTs. I got some NFT from Hackatao as a reward for a competition with the status. And in March, I believe Jimmy bought to me for 10 ETH. And it was like, what the fuck? I put that number because I didn't want to sell. Who bought it? You know, like, what?
That's the
And
best.
I was like, what the fuck? And I started, okay, there is something here that I'm missing right now. Like, okay, people is start like getting involved in this. And that was like the moment. Okay, let's risk everything. Like, I have a lot to lose, but I don't fucking care. Right? Just dive in and I start experiment. I'm onboarding my friends here, people all around the world that I can, you know, like, let's go deep into it, because eventually all the creative platforms will open. So it will be created by their community or whatever mechanism, right? Because art right now, crypto art is about to really explode. So it's the time for everyone to risk their life into it. For me, really, like, okay, if you're a creative mind, creative being, let's live in creation mode. Let's go deep into it and just play, create, and start spreading the word or your message or your love or whatever you want to create. But just create. We need people, creative people in the world. So yeah, just the risk for me is the best. Go to the unknown. You know, like, you don't know what's going on. Oh, let's go there. You know, like, open to all possibilities. Let's do it. Like, let's crushing it. So yeah, risk is. Oh yeah, bro.
Is a lot of people doing art full time?
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is anyone doing art full time?
I'm fully crypto all time.
Yeah. Here you go. This guy has goals.
Design and everything. Like, okay, now I'm
That's
also
crazy, yeah.
working with Avagachi with this pixel art ghost that has this programmable. It's like, okay, and also every day art, like trying to experiment in another ways. Right now, we're about to launch the crypto drinks. You know, more than 40 of us, like in a condition, dropping an open platform, Rarible, easy, right? So let's do it there and go all the way. Full in time crypto. You can do it too. You can do it. Everyone can do it. Yeah.
I think it's mental. I mean, a lot of it is mental. But if you have family, of course, it's hard. It's hard. Is anyone else doing it full time?
Yeah, I'm doing it full time. I've been doing it full time since October of 19. And I'm not. You're not getting wealthy. That's for sure. I'm spending more than I'm making, but I'm the happiest I've ever been in my entire life. And
that's the point.
It's something. It's a soul mission for me.
Totally.
That's the point.
Yeah.
I think it's hard mentally. I mean, but I definitely agree that it's a lot of satisfaction.
It's the fear, you know. It's just the fear. But if you just go and break it, you will see that if you are open to the unknown, really, everything starts to come. You have to just project yourself what you are doing, and you will. You have to think that you already are there, and you will create. We are the creators of our own reality, everything. So you can do it. We all can do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think too. You know, what's cool is like I try to like every day just remember like that aha moment, that amazing moment that just clicks. You know, like for me, the first time that I had like the image married to the address moment was when I was testing. There was 2 games. It was Spells of Genesis, but there's a developer named Mandelduck. He was making a game called Saratobi. You still could probably download it on Google Play or whatever. But you know, I was talking with him, and I mentioned, I go, you know, if you take the Satoshi card from Spells of Genesis, which is like a very coveted card, you know, I asked him, I said, is there a way you can port that into your game, you know? And lo and behold, you know, it didn't even take him more than a day, and he sent me a message, and he goes, I did it. He goes, try it. It's like, all right. I'm like, just testing it, and lo and behold, dude, my Satoshi card was in the game, and that's when everything clicked. I go, and this was like 2016 early, and that's when I knew, I'm like, this shit is gonna change the fucking world, man. This is like, it just blew my mind. That was my aha moment. But I have to like remember that, you know, it's like such an amazing like feeling, you know. So when I see new people come in, like I'm with them. I'm like yes, you know, go try everything. Like I just saw Joy was talking on the last chat. He's talking about making his own contracts and kind of just being on the outside, but still making a dent. And I love that, man. There's so many avenues you can do, you know. And so you have the curatorial ones, you have Rarible, you have OpenSea making your own contract.
The open
there's
source code.
a lot more. Yeah, and he was also talking about, you know, customizing contracts, and I think that's another, maybe that's the next wave, you know, besides the social token thing, which I think would be a good topic to talk about. But yeah, like getting more into the contract itself and what it can do. And I mean, really, people are making art no matter what. Like the art is always there, right? But like the blockchain technology is just the augmentation to the art. It's like a new experience, you know. So like the way I'm looking at it is like same with music, you know, like if you want to hear music, the very first type of music was played live, right? But then you got the gramophone, which you can take home. That was a new experience, you know? So for me, like blockchain is just a new experience for digital art, and it does rarefy it, but that's the amazing part. It's like a totally new way to experience digital art. And so it's endless, you know, once we start really messing with the code and the contracts and stuff. So yeah, I'm just excited to see what's going to be, you know, lying ahead.
There's
you know?
incredible potential around smart contracts and like what we can do with them.
Bruce.
Hey,
Hey,
Bruce.
My foray into crypto was because of crypto art. Like I got into NFTs because of gaming, and like I found my way across the Engine coin release announcement, and I was like, "What the hell is this?"
Yeah.
And then from there, it was like I learned about NFTs and I'd known about crypto, but didn't really care. And then it was like, and then as soon as I found Cent and started finding the art and stuff, it was too late. There was no going back then. I was down the rabbit hole.
Yeah,
Was the
Rarible.
rabbit hole deep?
I don't see looking for a job ever because like I can't think of anything else I'd rather do with my life than be a
Yeah.
part of this community and like create.
Yeah, just go for broke, man. Do it. You know, like that's. I mean, shoot. I mean, there's artists that are all over the place right now. They kind of like saying they're doing that, you know. But I think the cool thing is that since the technology is so new and it's why not go for broke with it, because it's already changing the world. We already see it. You know, I mean, even with this the COVID, all this stuff, it just made it explode even further. So yeah, definitely not. Go for it.
I did the corporate America approach for, 20 years, 15, 20 years. And it sucks for me. It's, as a creative, it's the most stifling environment I could ever be in. And it wasn't until I found crypto art again, where I started to marry both like what I had learned over the last 20 years in design and tech and all that stuff, with what my original passion was, which was art. And you talking about an aha moment, Rob, I wake up every day and it's like a new aha moment. Like I can't even, I mean, every day I'm learning something new. It's just, I can't imagine my world in the future without this space.
Yeah, 100%. Like I went from super depressed and like, okay, I wake up and I like count my reasons I'm obligated to be alive to like, I wake up like, shit, what time is it? I got emails to check and all this stuff going on.
Dude,
Does the community help to stay afloat and stay, mentally healthy?
Absolutely. I want to take this. Yeah. So I suffer from anxiety and depression. I've reached out to Colin. I've reached out to Jay. They've reached out to me when I've said stuff on Twitter. And as a community amongst ourselves, some of my best friends now are you guys. You've reached out to me in my deepest, darkest moments as I've gone through divorce in this space, And not only is it a space for me that I've created friends amongst you all, but also it's a place where I get to create and share my sort of second realm, my inner realm, as I call it, with the rest of you. It's sort of like this beautiful, where everything has come together for me. So thank you all for being there for me and also spurring me along.
Much love. Yeah.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, man. Likewise, I feel like one of my favorite trash artists is Thornton Dial, Southern folk artist who actually turns physical trash into art. One of my favorite quotes of his is, "It doesn't matter who you are, like life's rough on you. Life's going to be rough on everybody. No matter what you're going through some stuff." And in 2020, I think that cannot be more true. Everybody's had a rough time, and y'all been there for me and have provided an extra community outside of my own community that has meant a lot. And I've reached out to y'all. A lot of you have reached out, and I appreciate what this has meant. Yeah, it's like been a way to express something inside myself, but it's also a way to connect with people all over the world that I'd never had opportunity to meet. So it's been beautiful.
Yeah, I mean the collaborations. I mean, it is amazing. Like just looking at it, but I think really it'll settle in like years from now when everybody kind of like looks back at all these pieces and they're like, holy crap, man, we were just collaborating with everybody on the planet, you know. Like the piece behind me is Norman and myself, you know. But like I told him I was gonna put it up, you know. But like the fact that we could do it and we could share the the payments and stuff like that, and just like that, and just keep going with it. I mean, that has yet to be explored and like written down and like scribed, you know. There's and I'm it'd be kind of cool to just to see like a collab book, you know, in the future or something.
Oh yeah.
All the collaborations that went down from circa 2019, 2020, you know. And I don't even know, I can't even remember the first one. I have a feeling Max Osiris is involved. I don't know the very first collab piece technically in crypto, but I'd like to know.
Do you think we should collab on any piece like Bruce the Goose said that maybe we should make a collab from all of the people who are on the panel today and just make a collab.
Let's do it.
Is it hard to collab? I don't know. I'm not an artist, so is it difficult? How does it even work?
It's like super simple. Like I mean, I'm part of like one collab group. They call themselves a guild, and then just everybody else that I've collabed with. But really, like if you want to do like a multi-person collab, it's pretty simple. You just like set up a Telegram room, and everybody uploads their layer to it, and then they just take it, add to it, put it up, and of course name it by file, and you get it done within a couple days. Depending on the approach of it, I guess. Like I just did one for the trash coin thing, and I just asked for body parts. Like I was like, send me a left arm, send me a right arm, send me a nose, send me an eyeball, and I'll slam them together and make this like kind of like Dada-esque kind of piece, but yeah, it's a lot of fun, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I heard from Mahara. He mentioned some ways to collaborate where you don't see like a part. Let's say you're collaborating on a body. Someone's making the head. Someone's making the body. Someone's making the bottom, legs or arms. And sometimes if you don't see what the other person has done, it may be kind of weird. Like, so it makes the whole thing so weird, because once you see something, you try to like, I guess, mold it into. But if you don't see it, it sometimes comes out of like absolutely wacky.
Yeah, blind collaboration seems interesting to me. We should do that here. Let's do a blind collaboration.
Do it.
That's a surrealist game. The surrealists were really interested in opportunities that occur with chance and the unknown, and it's called Exquisite Corpse. It's a beautiful game, and there's things that happen when there's randomness that would not happen with our planned logic, which was part of the point of the surrealist movement, is that our logical brains don't live up to the fullest potential of the whole experience of reality. So yeah, it's a beautiful game. I would definitely be down to try that out.
All right.
Recently,
so we'll set up the Telegram after all this, and we'll fire one out.
Yeah. Where you guys feel like crypto art is going? Like, okay, well, where is it now first, and where is it going?
Right now, it's
diapers.
in the Nirvana moment. it's like
diapers.
Like on the
diapers.
Yeah. It's gonna knock Michael Jackson off the Billboard. Like it's right there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Everybody knows it. Everyone knows it. Everyone feels it too. I know you guys feel it. Like it's right there. I mean, it's just tapping Christie's with that sale. It's tapping all this other, the Beatles coming in, all this other random crap's happening. But yeah, it's getting there, man. But the crazy thing is just like I always think of like how if you create crypto art, you also tend to collect, and that just blows my mind, because there will be a shit ton of collectors around the world, man. It's just insane. And just the trading aspect, it's going to be like trading punk records just globally and just on like crank to 1,000, and I don't know, I think that's pretty cool, to just be fun.
You think that Oh, go ahead.
So like outside of the crypto space, I refer to it as the upcoming digital renaissance. Like I feel as though right now, like all the big NFT collectors who are spending a ton of money are crypto whales who have been in this space for years and have fat bags of crypto to spend. And like as soon as like real art collectors and like other like artists on a more mainstream scale like have that aha moment, like it's gonna change everything.
Yeah, that's another thing. That's a good point because I'm not gonna lie, and they can judge me for it, but a lot of these like crypto art whales, they're like former finance Bitcoin guys.
Yeah.
So like a lot of them, I don't expect a lot of them to really like know art history. I really don't.
Yeah.
And so like a lot of the times, like when I get hit with stuff, I kind of just laugh. Like actually, like Max and myself kind of laugh. We're just kind of like, okay, well, that's just the way they see it. I mean, some of them do. Don't get me wrong. I'm not blanketing the whole thing, but just
I'll blanket the whole thing. I don't like
experience.
any of the whales.
Yeah, but just from previous experience, and I'm just like, okay, I just gotta wait for like the real guys, like the real maverick collectors to come in, and some have come in, and they know who they are if they're watching this. But yeah, like the guys who really like the really off cuff stuff, on all of that, and there's plenty of it out now. So the playing field will be leveled. It's just a really small pond right now, and they can splash and say whatever the hell they want. But in the long run, like they're getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and that's really what needs to happen. I want to see more decentralization with artwork. Yeah. Period. I want to see like stuff popping up all over. Like right now, like I was joking that this is like kind of like a grunge movement. It's like kind of like it's grungy in a way. Everybody's doing like a lot of people are just nobodies. But we're like making stuff and we're like part of like this big thing and it's changing the world. And that's how it kind of starts. That's how those movements get made. And then it's going to just blow open and just to see all the stuff come in is just going to, I'm excited as all hell. And yeah, pretty much.
The power
Do you feel like
if you want a prediction, if you want a prediction, I would predict within 6 months, we're going to be seeing people at the drive-up line when you get a hamburger asking, do you want a free NFT with that? Can I scan your wallet? People love free NFTs. I love them.
Screw a toy with my Happy Meal, give me an NFT.
Yeah.
And
I think Rarible with the unlock is pretty close to that, like doing the Happy Meal stuff. It's like unlock this, and I get the well, shit. I was doing the ketchup stuff as a joke, like I would make the ketchup art, and then there'd be like a ketchup commercial inside of it. Like I was just making that just as a joke, But just testing with the unlock thing, and that's kind of cool. Like every time you see something new come out, like Rarible just busted out the unlock thing, and that was a new way to experience art, And so that'll keep happening. More platforms open, more approaches to the technology will happen. And shoot, who knows what the next one's going to be?
I think part of the risk that we take is in experimentation, right? So like Rarible offers this unlock, and then we just go ham with it. Jay with his with the shareware and that one piece where you were passing it around with Colin and myself, like it was just a unique way to try some things out. And I think that's one of the things that's great about the space is the experimentation. Sure, they give us a rule book that we're supposed to play by, and we say, fuck it. We're just going to do our own thing.
Yeah. And it works.
Yeah.
And it works. Yeah.
For now, it works, yeah, definitely.
I feel like these platforms, they provide tools, but it's up to the users decide how to use them, right? Do you feel that the competition amongst platforms is heating up?
Yeah.
I think all the platforms that are here won't be around in 20 years, so I don't really give a shit.
Good point.
Okay, I disagree. I humbly disagree. Okay. Here's the reason why I disagree, Stephen, because the art market is really weird. And a lot of it's based on like historical aspects. So it's like weird. It's like I remember when Nifty Gateway came in, right? It was like, oh, Nifty Gateway's gonna like take Super Rare's lunch, and I'm like, no, not really, because they got a lot of the good pieces in the beginning. Like if there's a timeline of collectability, there's a timeline of history. So it's like, I even kind of joke about the Rare Pepe thing. It's like there will be collectors that will go back and try to find those pieces, and try to get those, And so it's just a historical context, just a timeline, And I think like there'll be like rare Pepe, and there'll be a super rare known origin, and they're just little chinks in the timeline. But there'll be masterpieces made on Rarible, and the next platform that comes along. So I think it's really like a matter of just keeping an eye on, like, if you're a collector, like keeping an eye on like the artists that make those chinks. Like I collect, I collect myself, but me personally, like on the collector side, I look for like the peak, like of the artist. Like I don't necessarily want to get it first. Like maybe they're developing, maybe they're just trying out the technology first, and then their third piece will be like the magic. Like look at Matt Cain, his async piece. He was making pieces on super rare, but his async piece is like his crowning achievement. So yeah, it's weird. The art collecting and the historical aspect and like the provenance is really like that. It really does interest me, how that works. But
I think that's platform agnostic, though, right? In 20 years, they're on chain, so it won't matter if it came from super rare.
Yeah. Well, maybe you're right, because the livelihood, maybe they could be gone, right? But then like the super rare pieces will still last, right? Because technically, like, my trash can's still living, even though they removed it.
Yeah.
So it's like that's kind of like the first like test of it. But yeah, it's interesting for sure.
I think in terms of platform competition, like of course there's going to be a competition for market share. But you're referring, Robness, to like the idea of it being like a punk rock collector, and I'm a avid record collector, and you do search for like pieces that were not minted on or created on the biggest label, because there's a lot of those. But I also think that there's more power as crypto artists to kind of do it yourself and create your own smart contract, and look for ways to do that. But I think there's room for everybody to kind of do their own thing, like not in a punk perspective, like RCA Records has their own market share, and kids that are putting out records in their local towns and playing shows and stuff are not competing with that, but there's space for both. And there's a lot of interesting things happening within those movements. And to me, that's what attracted me, like to Rarible and Trash Art and the artist liberation front that Johnny Dollar created, that smart contract, like minting on OpenSea. So, people will be attracted to different platforms for different reasons. Artists and collectors. And in terms of collectors, if you equate it to music, like Beatles records, we all know they're worth a lot of money, but there's some punk rock records that kids put out like 200 copies and nobody cared about when they originally put it out, but now they're just as expensive as the Beatles records, that everybody was raving over.
Yeah, I got a buddy who's a fiend of collecting punk records, and he always calls me up and he says, "Oh, you got to come here and listen to this." There's only like 10 prints of this, and I had to get it from the country, So it'll be interesting to see all that. That kind of like reinforces like the addition aspect. Like right now, I mean, like you have the team scarcity, team abundance thing going on, and like the addition thing. I think I don't know. Everything hasn't been cemented yet to where like years from now, like those 10 editions that were made is going to be like really sought after, and try to find which wallet has it. This, you know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff. And can I even get the wallet? I always think about that too. Like, what if the person just leaves and ditches the wallet, and just the edition's just hanging there. There's no contract saying, "Oh, it's this price." It's just sitting there. So a lot of things kind of go through my mind about it.
Oh, the idea of lost collections, 5 years from now, with all these great pieces that are going to be stuck in wallets. I mean, that's beautiful in and of itself.
Yeah, just unattainable. Like this lot.
Yeah.
You can see it, but you can't own it.
Exactly.
I always think about the art collection as going into the burn wallet. I mean, that's like bigger than the Library of Congress right there. That's a huge.
The burn wallet is
the most comprehensive gallery in the world.
There's a lot of stuff in that wallet. I've looked a couple times. Like, it's like, oh man, if somebody could get this wallet, like pesos in terms of wealth, like.
Oh, we're working on that.
You can't hide it.
There's a couple. there's a couple fake burn wallets, you know, like people fall into the trap of sending stuff to the wrong, you know, address from time to time. It happens, you know, and I you know, it's funny because people just assume that they're sending it to a burn address, and sometimes if they look it up and they find it, it could be a fake burn address. It's just some person set it up and they're just kind of getting stuff, you know. So that happens too. Luckily, the platforms, they like do their due diligence and look that up. But sometimes, like, you know, let's just say a noob, for instance, looks up and like, oh, let me go find the burn address online, you know, and they go to some site and they think it is, and it's not. It's like going to some dude's wallet, you know. So that happens, you know.
I'm personally a fan of Jay's initiative, Spam. I think that's a great way to collect art and sort of give it to the world while creating a social token behind it.
Yeah, I'm trying to, with that project, I'm trying to democratize access to crypto art and provide some of the service of like a burn wallet. And it's really, the goal is to focus on even the playing field where people get some value, whether it's a crypto art in return or locking NFTs up into a collective collaborative wallet. Yeah, so thanks, Sinker Realm. I appreciate that. I have an interest in democratizing access to the space, which I think trash art has done, and punk rock has done for music, and folk art has done as well. Yeah, and I think that we should all push for that, where there can be more people participating instead of fewer in an exclusive platform or exclusive groups. Right. Whatever that looks like.
Yeah, and the thing is, that's a given. That's going to be a natural thing that happens. It's just like how humans conduct themselves, fortunately. But the fact that we're able to still, you know, keep pushing and make this work, it's awesome to see. You know, and it gives like a beacon of hope for artists that want to come in that don't necessarily ascribe to all that stuff. You know, that have kind of like an outlier mentality and just you know, let me just do it myself. Screw it, and I'm going to see if I can really push it. Yeah, definitely. You know, it's cool to see.
In terms of trash art and like the group we have here, I think there's an openness, right? How many times have you been hit up by some person on DM you don't know, and then all of a sudden you find yourself helping them through the process? That's part of the engagement that I love for myself. And then you create these relationships. That's how I met you, Rob. That's how I met Colin. That's how I met Jay. Like, you know, Bruce, you know, all these people, we began as collaborative conversations, really helping me through the process.
Yeah. It's funny too, because I try my best to like answer like all my DMs and stuff. And it's getting to the point where it's like, I'm just getting this scream and like, oh, no. Yeah. Like, it's so bad. Like, by the way, anybody that sends me a message, I don't send a message back. It's not because of that. It's just like, I literally probably fell asleep, didn't get it, and then like went down the list a little bit. So it's like I try as much as I can to like, you know, if there's a new artist that like wants to ask me a question, like I have no problem with. I was doing it in the very beginning. Like anybody that was trying to join the Rare Pepe chat, I was like, okay, here, go to Counterparty. This is how you log in. This is how you get your wallet. Mm-hmm. Like I literally had to walk them through all that shit, you know. And then they get the you know, the creme de la creme, which is like merging the picture with that. And then when they get that, it's like, and then they just, you know, have their minds blown. That's the best part. But yeah, to just have like the exclusionary mentality is not how this thing started, and not how it should be propagated at all. You know, and that's, I mean, like Jimmy, like I'm cool with Jimmy, but I have no problem telling him like when you say that stuff is not art, when you say that this is not this is not that, this is not art, like you don't understand like the effect that you're doing and spreading into the space. You don't understand. Like for one, like I never once said that Ava Stars to me is not art. Okay. Now you can surmise what I feel about it, but I never said it. You know, and I never said anything about any other artists because that's just their expression. You know? And like I wish Max was here, but he feels the same. Like I know he does. Like we like simple art and we like super complicated art. Like, if you like, for example, like Matt Cain, he makes super complicated stuff. Hawk makes super complicated stuff. I just ream him because he almost like he likes it, so I just do it. But anyways, so like Hawk is talented. You know, all these people are talented. You know. Yeah. But I just go after the ones that start going after others. I just never liked that because a person that makes a simple piece of art could be the most profound. You just don't know where it's coming from. Like Osinachi makes stuff off of Microsoft Word.
Yeah.
Profound stuff. Everybody makes stuff. Yeah, everybody makes stuff from various angles, you know, and to like go after a guy who uses photomosh. And by the way, I don't have to use photomosh. I just like the aesthetic of it, you know, and the fact that it was like kind of like looked down upon, you know, I just thought it was like pretty childish, and it wasn't really like really ahead of the game, like seeing in the future what was going to happen. And you know, I mean, look what it's doing. I mean, shit, it's memetic at this point. It's going everywhere. So yeah. You know.
I think Photomosh is like a really powerful tool if you take the time to sit there with it.
Yeah. You know what's funny? Okay, let's talk about Photomosh. Can we do this? Can we talk about?
Of course.
Let's do it.
I feel like we should talk about Photomosh.
Yeah, okay, because like Photomosh, like when I first used it, like I was on like the Reddit forums, you know, the glitch vaporwave forums and stuff. And like when I first used it, I thought it was just Photoshop with all the plugins that I wanted to use. Literally, like it was like they just chopped Photoshop all the stuff that I normally use, and like they just put it there. And I'm like, okay, great, that just saves me a lot of time. And so like I used it, but I noticed that like the aesthetic of it, you can press the mosh button if you want, right? But if you go and go through the channels and start tweaking it, I imagine it like an image synthesizer. You know, you give it a synthesizer, it's got keys, but you have a certain amount of dials, and that's the way I treated it. So you tweak it, patch, you tweak it, and you can get original looking images, moving images, if you really try and really just. I love to like bend simple stuff, basically. So so my approach to that was I was always trying to look for something that didn't look like Photomosh, but it was Photomosh. Like that's what I was. That was my attempt, and I still use it depending on what I want. You know, like sometimes. Yep.
Oh yeah, I've been using Photomosh while we've been talking. Actually, I took a group portrait of everybody. It's turning out great so far.
On the fly.
But Photomosh, I agree. Like it's a tool just like anything else. It can be used. You know, why overcomplicate it for artists? You know, to learn, go through some technical manual and hit a bunch of buttons. You can hit one or two and get the same effect. I think that's better for the artist and the art. It shouldn't be like looked down upon, but I think there is ways to like tweak it. Like I think running images through Photomosh over and over again creates a different effect than if you just take one image and hit the button and then adjust a few things. So there's a lot of potential within that simple tool. And also like to me, the idea of anybody being able to take an image and create a work of art is a beautiful thing, and that's powerful. And actually the book Digital Trash that I collaborated with using artificial intelligence, I wrote using an AI text generator, but it was an early text generator that was just like I pretty much typed in a sentence and hit a button and it generated a bunch of text. So it was written in the same way, almost like Photomosh, where you just like hit a button and something happens and you either like it or you don't. And I collaged the whole Digital Trash book through picking pieces that I really enjoyed the AI's output. But it's such a cool program. It's like, you know, it's a great program. I don't know why anybody would hate on something so cool. It's like it's like the fuzz pedal of crypto art.
I heard the developer wants to make like a part 2. Like he wants to. Well, it's funny because I've talked with him like throughout the years, like just on various DMs and stuff. And you know, I told him like stuff that I wanted in there. Like I want to be able to.
That's the way to do it.
GIF. I want to be able to throw a moving GIF and affect the GIF in real time. So I was asking for that. Just other things in there. Just you know, he said he's going to be making something new. So I'm not sure how long that's going to take. And he seems like he's pretty lackadaisy about it. But he mentioned it, you know, and I've seen a couple of tweets where he's mentioned he wants to upgrade it. So like that'll be coming. So I don't know. I almost feel like I want to do another line when that comes out, like like another series, like with Photomosh 2, you know, like the comeback or something. You know?
I've used
coming out right with like audio reactive visuals and stuff like that.
Maybe, possibly.
I think I heard about that somewhere. And there's a few platforms that have stuff like that. I mean, I don't have like any easy way to get crypto into fiat, and I don't work a day job, so like I'm on all free stuff. But like the stuff you can find for creative tools is like boundless, really. Like I just discovered a Pixel Loop the other day on Android, where like you can animate certain parts of an image and stuff like that, and it's just the possibilities are crazy.
Yeah, I gotta look at that. I always love seeing you know that artist Algomistic. I don't know if you've heard of. Yeah, he has an app. I love using it, honestly. Like I kind of do like all that cyber stuff that I've been making. I use Algomistic's app primarily because like I can. It's like weird. Like I do it all on the phone. Honestly, like like I have no shame in saying that. Do everything on the phone with that style of work. But I like it because it's like it's kind of Pollock-esque in a way. Like I put the piece on there and then I just use a bunch of the settings that he has. But like I can flip the picture around constantly instead of like running around the canvas like Pollock would, you know. So it's like I just keep attacking the canvas with my thumb. So just imagine like a big thumb on a canvas going like this, you know. That's the kind of way I look at it. But like any type of like phone app or just apps in general, like I like kind of like modulating and just adding pieces, you know. It's kind of guitar pedals in a way. I remember someone made a big muff piece. But yeah, like taking each app and then, you know, make it here, send it here, and then kind of just patch it. I think that's another technique as well, you know. So
what's your I mean, I want to learn from each of you. What's your primary tools that you're using? I use, like, is it phone? Is it computer? Is it a mash of both? I use all three, right? I have my iPad that I've got Procreate on, my phone where I'm using glitch software, and then my MacBook where I'm doing Photoshop specific stuff, and I'm mashing that shit all together. But what are you doing?
I primarily use desktop, like everything with just mouse and keyboard all the way, because I don't have a decent tablet. I've been meaning to get one, but that's on the list of things I got to do. But then I also have what's it called, BlueStacks downloaded. It's an Android emulator for PC. So then like that opens up access to, like, instead of having to send it to my phone and then redo it and send it back to my computer, it's like, well, I'll just upload the picture here. And then I have the whole range of Android apps that are just, there's so much potential there.
You just made my life a lot simpler right there.
I'm just using my
Learning right
MacBook
there.
Pro, really. Like there is all in, and I use my hands outside of the digital world, and digital is my MacBook Pro with Adobe Creative Cloud, and that's it. I don't like even to use effects on all these programs and apps because what I said before, but I have to try, right? Now that I have seen that you can do so many stuff, but I always feel in this that I am not doing it. It's the robot, you know, it's the code, and it's not me. But once you are in crypto art, you understand that the code itself is the piece of art as well, right? And the AI or digital, I don't know, robot or whatever you want to call, is also part of you. So it's art, finally. We have to free our minds from all these paradigms coming from the other industries. You know, for the newbies that are coming, they might have this wall, like, okay, I'm coming from the printing, I don't like low-res stuff, and crypto art is like this. So for me, it's totally a renaissance that it will open really everything for the new people, the ones that are able to really change their minds of what it is real or what is for now, but in the future, what is coming, you know, everything is worth it to do, you know, to create, experiment. We are living in a digital era. We are going to VR, AR. So even it's more, I don't know, eco-friendly because you don't print, you don't have ink, you know, it's everything changing. So it's the time for the new era, really. And not everybody is seeing that. You know, basically the crypto people, the crypto art people, NFTs, the people that is from the start, from Bitcoin, Ethereum, and everything, they are the ones, I believe, that really can have this vision or projection about how the future could be, but for real, not just like hallucinations. It's for real, you know. The path that we are building now is like really futuristic, You know,
Yeah.
you have to really erase your mind and reprogram yourself, you know, because it's the only way to understand where we are going.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. I can't wait till the pixel chain collectors come in. Like it hasn't
Yeah.
really happened yet, but I can't wait till just like the 8-bit people that are just chip tune life. That's it. That's all I do. And then all of a sudden they just come up on some beat that they just go ape
Yeah,
shit.
and they're updating the platform for more grid, for a GIF inside the app. So it's gonna be really nice. And pixel art is also in the renaissance of stuff. It's everywhere right now because we are looking at, even in the VR and AR, still polygons, voxels. So it's already to keep on creating that until we go to the smooth, perfectly stuff. But I believe that this grunge, cube, voxels and stuff will remain forever, you know, because it's the base of any creation. The pixel is the minimum unity of creation in the digital world. So
Yeah, definitely.
yeah.
Is it
Going
hard
back
to?
to tools. Oh, I'm sorry,
Okay.
Serge. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, is it hard to learn new platforms, and if it's necessary for artists to evolve to learn new tools?
Well, like for new tools, it's kind of weird. Like I the stuff that I use, like I mean, Photoshop, Procreate, Adobe After Effects. Haven't delved into 3D yet, just because I don't know. It's again, you get to a point where you're just like you want to try to do everything, but you just forget it. You know,
It's overwhelming.
Like, I might do it. I might jump into Blender in the future. I might do some stuff like that. But like for me personally, like those are the three, and then whatever I can find that are like on the fringes of the internet. Because like with music, like my big thing is like finding like weird, like kind of off the cuff like effects, you know, that you can install, and they just do like one or two things, you know, but they do them really well. So like I'll make some pieces, or I'll try to find some stuff like just weird stuff like text, you know, hacking stuff, or anything that just like adds to the piece. You know, it's just one little tool to kind of like put a signature on it or something like that. So yeah, just trying to find some weird stuff on the internet that does things to images that are just really off the cuff. I love finding that stuff, and usually it's just like really like the website is just like, oh, we just made this code or whatever, and we just did it, and here if you want to use it, go ahead. But yeah, I like mixing and matching that kind of stuff. You know, for me, I just consider them like paintbrushes. Really, there's a debate right now going like, you know, if you should code and like, or wait, you should code, or if you code, like hide the code and this and that. And I understand that because it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work making the code to generate that image and stuff. But like if you start like hoarding it, like you limit someone taking that code and actually doing something creative with it. And I know there's a lot of people that just jack stuff. Don't get me wrong, like I know that like that happens all the time. But you limit someone taking that and harnessing it and really doing something like mind blowing, you know. And so that's the trade-off, you know. But I love when people make stuff that just does one simple thing, and then you can take that and add it to your piece, and it just blows the piece away. It's like, holy shit, you know, like there's my next series, you know. I'm gonna this, you know what I mean? Like this is the next, and it looks original, and it's, you know, it is original because you took a bunch of different things and mixed them together, like a soup or something, you know. So
I think
In terms
oh,
of
go ahead, Jay.
tools, sorry, second realm. In terms of tools, to me as an artist, it's really important that I use tools that are often available to everybody, or at least most people. You know, like I think there's a lot of cool stuff going on in 3D. I think there's a lot of cool VR stuff. But what I like about Photomosh is like everybody can do it. If you got a phone, if you got access, you know, you can take a screenshot and you can put it through Photomosh. But in terms of learning new tools as an artist, I think that's what helps keep us growing, like trying different media. Like I just picked up, it's hard to see here.
oh yeah.
It's an old toy. I'm interested in things that were not considered to be like a tool for creating art, like a digital synthesizer that was a toy. I like circuit bending them to see what use them in ways they weren't meant to be used, perhaps.
The
And
reggae, right, with the melodica. The melodica is that piano that you play. That was meant as a child's toy, but Augustus Pablo took that whole shit and tore it up, and a whole concert just based on the melodica, and it's sick. And it's a toy. It started as a toy, just like photo.
Yeah. There's a lot of beauty in tools that are maybe not considered fine art or professional quality, and I think that's what interested me in trash art, but also like any medium, like what is anybody going to decide what is of good quality or low quality or high quality in terms of a medium of expression? And I think we're all interested in pushing that and figuring out what that means to us personally. So I like phones, like drawing on my phone, so it looks so primitive that I can't even really get any good line quality. Screenshots are interesting to me because people hate screenshots and they think it's like stealing art or stealing NFTs, or maybe it doesn't take any talent to take a screenshot. Like I hope that I do it in a way that's talented. I put a lot of effort into my screenshots, and I've got the most valuable collection of screenshots, I think.
That's awesome, Jay.
But I don't know. There's tons of tools out there, but learning new tools is fun. Yeah, that's what keeps us growing as artists. If we stick with one thing, you may push yourself really far with one thing, but I like to keep growing and trying new things that are old. Game Boy cameras are fun to me. Stuff that shouldn't be used probably in a professional level, I enjoy more than anything else.
What I would add to that is the tool doesn't make you an artist. Let's be right. You don't need to learn all the tools to be a crypto artist. Osinachi, I think, is a perfect example, right? He uses Microsoft Word, one tool. Whatever the tool is that you can get so good at that you can create your own version of this beautiful world, use that, whatever you have access to. Bruce, you were just saying you have access to free tools. The tool, it's not about the shoes anymore, guys.
Yeah.
It ain't about your Nikes. It ain't about who's got the most expensive software. It's about the creativity behind it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny with like Procreate, you're like kind of, if you don't have the pen, like you use your fingers, so it's like elevated finger painting. I love that. I love it because it just makes you look it's a little bit so childish, like here I'm going like this, doing that the whole time and just trying to finish the piece. And
beautiful.
Yeah, but for abstract work, I like doing a lot of abstract stuff from time to time. And like, it's weird. It's not like the speed of it, but I like to be able to maneuver around the canvas very quickly. I like doing that. Instead of running around to the corner of one canvas, I could just jump my thumb really to it really quick. Like, it's just the speed of my mind trying to get to the canvas as quick as possible. And so just doing all that and getting to not the finish point, but just getting to where I want to go that's in my head, like immediately. I like that, Unfortunately, in music, it's like a lot more difficult. It's like what I hear in my head, it's like, oh God, I really got to spend 8 hours to like manipulate a frequency to get what I want. But I guess, I don't know, the visuals, like it's a lot cooler because you can do that. It's weird, but at least for me.
What about financial tools? Like now we have those social tokens. I think it is kind of like a tool, but just different from a different, I guess, domain.
Yeah.
It's a marketing tool, right?
Yeah.
The way you use it.
I can't wait to riff on this one. Oh my God.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Wait to riff on this. Okay, because like the social token thing, I mean, Xcopy and a lot of people kind of like started the point early on Roll, and at first it wasn't really like, at the time it was just kind of like, we'll just make a token, and I applaud them for doing it, very beginning. But it's funny because like, I got the trash token, we got the spam token, we got the tater token up in the house. But it's funny because like I've been trying to write this white paper for this thing, right? And it's weird because it's kind of like you meditate on like what the heck you're doing. this thing, right? And at first it's like, okay, you just made a shit coin, right? And it's like, yes, I totally made a shit coin. Now what the hell am I really doing with this? And so like, as the more I think about it, I kept saying like, it's like a self-economy. And what I mean by that is like, basically you have like direct, like sovereign control of your own currency, right? And you're an artist, right? So, but I kept thinking in the future, you know, you're gonna have artist collectives that create their own coin, and they create their own economy with that coin. But it's like, I kind of like compare like Motown. The beginnings of Motown, it was a house. It was Hitsville, USA. You know? Like imagine if Hitsville, USA actually had their own like economy that they can really take control of their artistic output and throughput. And so I think about all those things, and like in the future, like there's going to be all these like global communities that are really like small niches, you know, but they have their own like self economy. You know? They can dictate the coin count. They can dictate their own like economic push, whatever they want to do, they can do. But it gives them another outlet, a little bit more control of their finances than they can do. So you can see like another Motown or another art collective or gaming company or like a startup gaming company that, you know what, we're going to be like mavericks in the scene, and this is going to be our token, and please like support. And then they can get the funds to like really like produce something magnificent with the funds, you know. And so all those things kind of like run through my brain, and like I can't wait to see more like artist collectives that are like, okay, like for example, like the 105 collective, you know? Like they could make their own token and say, this is the 105 collective. This is, if you want to like invest in the group itself, it's like, here, grab some of the token, and it helps us, you know? And so I think actually at first I was kind of like hesitant, but now that I think about it, since it's more like democratic and really like able to be pushed out and more like decentralized, I think it might be actually pretty awesome to give a little bit more liberation to artists and collectives and so forth.
Yeah, I think Roll gets pretty much all the attention for the personal currencies or whatever you want to call it, but me tokens is like I think it's way more potential for at least like for the creator to actually like without having to understand all the market movement and all that stuff and liquidity pools. Like me tokens are issued on a bonding curve, so like for me tokens to be issued in general, like somebody has to put ETH in a collateral pool to back it, and then the only person that can get the full value for each token out of the bonding curve is the person who issued it.
Yeah.
When I started Tater, I wasn't sure where it was going to go. It's totally a meme, right? It's a meme token, much in the same way Trash is, I think. And what I did was I tethered it to the people's potato, and I really tried to make an effort to step away from any liquidity pool management. It was in the light paper that I wrote. It was like, and the FAQs, I wasn't going to be managing any liquidity pool because I saw the potential for, I think it was a conversation with you, Rob, you become tied to sort of, right? You become tied to the value of the token. And I really wanted to make the effort and Tater Tech about the community and less about the token itself, right? So it was its own economy where you pass back and forth. I think, Colin, you have bought pieces in Tater.
It's the first cryptocurrency that has no ascertainable value. And
yeah,
it's great.
exactly.
To use. Because I bid with 3,000 of them today. I don't know if that's 3,000 Bitcoins or 3,000 pennies, and I don't give a fuck.
Right, exactly. And I hope to sustain that throughout the project. You know, I won't be able to control if someone sets up a liquidity pool on Uniswap, but it'll be out of the concept of the project. It'll be outside of that realm. You know.
I really respect that, and of course, I see value in a lot of different ways to set up a social token.
Yeah.
You know, like I appreciate you not looking for like an ETH pair actively. For when I set up the spam token, I was torn in many ways. To me, I want it to be paired more with the value of crypto art, and I think you've done that with Tater, where that is the value. And then people can either sell the crypto art for, you know, if they want to get the ether. I think social
and it's
tokens,
cheap as hell crypto art.
What's that?
And it's cheap as hell crypto art.
Yeah,
Four
I
cents
love
per.
that. I think with trash art, with part of the fun of it was like the early stuff was really cheap and everybody could just
Yeah.
buy some cool trash art for, anybody could come into the movement and be a collector and be a trash art whale. So like being cheap is a good thing in my eyes. It's not a negative in any way. In terms of social currencies, I'm interested in people being able to set them up themselves. So I set up Spam as like a token contract outside of Roll, even though I think there's a lot of benefits to Roll that I'm probably missing out on. And with Spam, I hope to eventually get to a point where, it's just people are getting value through crypto art. I'm not worried too much about other values outside of the art and the exchange of ideas. So I think that's really cool what you're doing.
Yeah, for me, it's
thanks.
about
And
the
I also-
community, really.
Okay.
The social token. I have my Pixel social token. That's where I start. And it's basically for the community. So you reward in the community and create your own crypto economics within your community to give value to your life, to your work, for their support. So it's like a symbiotic process of giving value, going, like in both ways. Community pools, liquidity pools can be opened by anyone. So, it's according to the value you are giving to your community. So it's really, for me, it was one of the best experiences this year, really. Starting with Roll and all the Pixel, the community. I have never felt that community and how this is spreading around everything, because there is no the people that wants your token just to dump you and take the ETH. It's not about that, because you now can put it in OpenSea.
happens.
You have experienced that, Rob. Yeah.
Which
you
happens.
can now, you
Like,
use it in
that's-
OpenSea. Now
Yeah.
it's cool that Dan and the OpenSea team, Amish, and all of them are helping us also to put our tokens in the contracts of the different platforms, so we can make all the transactions with that token. So the ETH or the other valuable tokens are not necessary, let's say, because you can start sharing your art and create this value with your own token. So it's really interesting experiment, because, for example, in my case, I feel that I just shard myself in 10 million pixels. So each pixel should have a value someday, I don't know. And in the total, it would be like a market cap of a pixel community that is not just about pixel art, but it's about the art, the crypto art, and with all the idea of the pixel and stuff. But I believe it's really nice what Roll is doing. And now that they are increasing some stuff now that they got this new round of funding. So I believe that it's coming really nice stuff for creators token.
Do we all have tokens?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, probably.
At this point, yeah.
I have two.
Mine kind of crashed
too.
and burned.
Pixel, trash.
The thing is, it's just another experimentation. Really. I mean, whether investors like it or not, it's always an experiment. Okay, like you start a business, it's an experiment. It's just, who knows what these things are going to do a year from now or 2 years from now. Nobody knows. There is no rule book to crypto art. Okay, it's not going to be. It's not going to be written like 10 years from now, probably. It's constantly evolving. People are trying to figure things out. And this social token thing, why not? Why not give it a shot? Somebody's going to figure it out.
I love that idea that the value is for the creator. It's not about a company or just a project or a scam app. It's about you. It's about us. It's about everyone. So for me, it has a lot of more value because it has this humanized part that doesn't have the other projects that is just pump and dump, money. Here is about the creator's life. What you are creating, what people are appreciating, value, in everywhere. So
It's like Patreon for the crypto world. Like, I mean, theoretically, I don't know how smart contracts work very well. Like, I can't set it up easily, but like, I'm sure somebody who's smarter than me in the code department could set it up that like you can go on PayPal and create a sales thing to put on Facebook or whatever. Be like, send me this amount in PayPal, and then the payment proof gets used as a webhook or whatever the hell. again, not in the coding department. I'm code illiterate, but I'm sure it's doable that you could set it up to like work with smart contracts where like you could buy somebody's social tokens for fiat currency.
Yeah.
And like then you're helping them keep their like pursue their passion and create their art. And then at the same time, like you can use that to buy their art from them.
Yeah.
I don't
It
know
seems
if
totally
this is
possible.
I don't know if this is a faux pas, but to ask the moderator a question, but when Surge token?
Oh, I'm scared. I don't know, man. I
That's a good question. That's a good one.
yeah, I feel like it's
I'd be buying some Surge token.
Yep. Me too. Do it, Serge.
I don't know. I feel like I'm selling myself. What I'm worrying about is the bag of responsibility that comes with it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll tell you from experience, man. Like,
Yeah.
okay, this is straight up. Like, I'm not even gonna lie about this. Like, if the price goes up or goes down, it like affects you personally.
Yeah.
It's the fucking truth. I don't give a shit what anybody says. Like, okay, like the bottom line is
I don't
like,
have to worry about that
day
right
by day. Like, okay, my currency is like volatile as fuck because like I have like a low coin count. So like it could drop like $4 or go up $4 or whatever. But I'm not gonna lie, when it drops, I'm like, oh, I'm not working hard enough. I'm not making enough pieces.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
I think everybody that's been in crypto has probably felt that just like looking at your balance, whether it's ETH or Bitcoin or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
but imagine it just being tied to you personally.
Yeah, yeah. And for me, like I've been trying to practice of the coin is not me. And it's like for me, like I'm too much of a nice guy. Where I'm like, I don't want to like people are like investing in this thing. It's like I don't want to like be like, no, I don't give a shit about it. It's not about the, you know what I mean? Because people are like losing money, and shit. So like I'm being realistic about it. But I do have like a little bit more care for like, hey man, you gotta start pumping some shit up, get this thing up. And it sounds like bullshit, it sounds like bullshit, but it's interesting now. And it's an experiment. Like I said, it's an experiment. So, and the funny thing about it is that like, it's not gonna like leave you, like that token is mine now. That trash token is mine. So whatever I do in the future, it'll still be like with me. So what does that mean? Who knows? Maybe that becomes like an investment arm for some other people. Like, okay, like I believe in this guy's work and this and that. So just a lot of things to think about. Just another.
It could totally evolve, right? It can evolve into
Yeah.
whatever you want it to evolve into.
Yeah.
I was really intentional about separating Second Realm, the brand, with Tater Tech, right? Like I was super intentional about that because I was afraid of what you're going through, Rob, which is tying myself so specifically to the value of the token.
The roller coaster.
I don't envy you at all in that regard.
Yeah.
But you seem to be handling it really well.
I still care, but I mean, like for me, like okay, everybody knows like I called it an art piece, and like the way I looked at it was like just a conceptual because like a market. I mean, there's every single emotion on the planet involved with a market. There's despair, there's victory, there's everything encapsulated in it. So like for me, I'm like Andy Warhol would have gushed over this shit. Like he would have wanted to make a market like immediately, and it's like it's right there for the taking. So that's why I was saying Uniswap was like my new gallery. Like they hoisted up my art piece. It was more like a joke than anything. But still, I mean, developing a market for me is an art form in itself. Some people are really, and as much as I harp on Whale Shark, he does good in that regard. Like I'm not gonna like lie.
Certainly,
I'm really good at that. And so it's interesting, and it's just another thing. And then there's probably gonna be another thing after this. I don't know what that is, but I mean, music will be coming. I predict the music will be the next thing next year for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It's already coming.
I think once somebody puts out like an easy no-code tool for like configuring smart contracts, like I want this to happen when this happens and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So like, so we don't have to understand all the meaty bits of the code. Like I think, especially creatives and artists and creative writers, musicians, etc. Like we just have that different type of right brain thought. You know what I mean? Like that there's going to be so many amazing uses and different things that are going to happen with the social currencies and NFTs and stuff like that. Like, it's going to be incredible.
I mean, the bull run that is coming, it will be crazy.
Give me a photo mosh for smart contracts.
Let me just, I'm trying to find a dev right now that's willing to like accept that at some point it's going to be money. But like I have a token through Roll, and then I also have one through Me tokens. So what I want to do is like set up liquidity mine or yield farming and NFT mining.
Yeah.
So like if you provide liquidity for Feathers and Ethereum, and then you stake those tokens, you can earn Goose. And as the liquidity grows, I can occasionally liquidate a little bit of the mass amount of Feathers I have because it's issued to me, and then spend that Ether against the bonding curve for Goose and pump the price of that up.
Yeah.
Then like add NFT mining in there somehow.
Yeah, and in hindsight, you're funding your art projects and stuff. And so
Yeah, pretty much.
And and it kind of self-reinforces. So I mean, for me, I don't have any problems with that at all. A lot of people in the space will like cringe or but I mean, honestly, like if they start messing with it, I mean, I think they kind of start seeing like what a self-economy could be. And I think after a while, they kind of like will pick up on it. And I mean, it's just another thing to use. I don't know. I like it. I think it's pretty rad, to be honest. It's wild, but it's definitely.
The idea of the self-economy. Sorry, Jay, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry, man. I was just going to say, I think like we all got into crypto because we're interested in the idea of what is money. Like what do we attach value to? And who is able to create that value? Like who has the authority to create that value? So I think it's an interesting idea of social money. And I think that's why it's getting explored now. I think it's kind of like crypto coming into adolescence, maybe. And we'll see where that goes as we grow into adulthood, possibly.
I mean, that's a genre in its own right, is Bitcoin art. Like Lucio Paletti and a lot of that segment is primarily just focused on currency and the shift thereof, so.
But I would say if you like Lucho, get a classic Lucho NFT. Yeah. Don't buy this Lucho coin, whatever it is, right? That's not necessarily going to go anywhere. Get the classic Red Bull or whatever, right? Get the classic meme quality stuff, the goods that you were talking about earlier, Rob. The coin may go nowhere.
Yeah. I see. The thing is, though, it depends. I mean, like, okay, like if Lucho, well, I mean, a lot of artists are really going to be successful, and so I think that'll reflect onto the coin that they have. Honestly, like this is just a financial perspective, but I think like the rise of a certain artist is attributed to the token that they own, and I think it'll show like little by little that things go up. Well, it's in parallel. Right now, I mean, it could probably go to zero, but I think it's weird how altcoins work. Some of them don't have any purpose whatsoever, and then they go up and right. They take this value because it's tagged to something. Just psychologically, that's just the way it is.
Right.
That's human behavior at its core.
Yeah. And psychologically, look, I mean, crypto art. Look, I mean, the bottom line is there's a huge gap between the address and the art piece. Okay, there's like nothing in between it, but the psychology is there where it's merged to it, and it's stuck. And like I made a tweet like a couple days ago. I mentioned Theo because we always like harp on this thing. That the psychology is so strong now and it's global that it's been etched into stone now and it's a thing and it will be a thing. It'll be reinforced. So I don't know. I think the coins will be parallel to the artist's success. That's me personally. I think. But yeah, for right now, I mean, shit, everything goes like all over the place. So we'll see. I don't know. It's interesting.
Building on what Jay was saying a little bit earlier, I think that one of the interesting things about crypto is the idea of being your own bank, right? It is being your own economy. So the social token is just an extension of that sort of thought process, in my mind. Right. And so I don't know where it's going to be in 1 year, 6 months, 10 years from now. But I'm glad that I'm in on it now, and I'm excited to see where all your stuff goes too.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
temporarily.
definitely.
And it's just gonna stay there. I mean, it's your token, so it's like whatever. Like wherever your life goes, it's gonna follow you, I guess, on your address. So, we'll see what happens. I don't know. It's just the new thing. Literally, like honestly, I think it's been only about 2 months, 1 month. that's how quick this shit's moving. Like oh, social token era now. What's the next one?
What's the next trend?
Yeah, like we're not even at Christmas yet.
Man. It's crazy. I wanted to ask maybe about a question about pricing. Maybe not social token pricing, but pricing your own art and this new addition feature of 1155 ERC token, where you can mint any amount you want. I noticed that you, Robness, minted the trash can with 10, I guess 100,000 or 10,000.
I think it was 100,000 or something.
100,000.
It might have been 10,000. I don't know. I forgot, but I just knew I wanted to make a shit ton. But yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. So, what is the how was your thought process went through your decision to mint a shit ton and put it at for like what? It was 4 cents per piece.
Yeah, I was tiering them. Sometimes I put it 4 cents. Sometimes I put it 7.
Yeah.
$1. I would switch it from time to time. But I really just wanted to make that piece just to have it propagate. I mean, I just wanted to make something where people could just pick it up if they liked it. When I first made it, I was like, oh, I like this piece a lot. Like I really dug it. I wasn't expecting the result for me to really like it, but I was like, I'm just gonna make this piece just for everybody to just enjoy it and screw it. If they want to buy more than 100 editions of it, screw it. But the funny thing about that is that I kind of fell into this little beautiful accident, which is I was making all those honey badger diskettes and all that stuff with Jay DeLay. We were making a bunch of giveaways and stuff like that with Max and so forth. But I forgot that when you make a contract or when you make a token and you add the percentage royalty on that, you technically slam 10% or 15% on every piece that comes out. So literally, you got 10,000 contracts with 15% added onto it. So if it gets traded all over the place in the future, you're going to see all this stuff coming in, just bits and change. But who knows? I saw some giveaways being sold for close to an F the other day. One of the old Jay DeLay pieces we did. I saw it for 1 F or 0.75 or something like that. And it's weird because I can't contact the person and tell them look, there's 99 of them out there. You know what I mean? I can't give them a notice, but people are selling them and sometimes they're hard to track, or they're not selling. So it's kind of interesting when you do a mass deployment like that and you have a contract with royalties attached to it. It's a different medium altogether. Yep. And I don't know, it's one of those weird accidents that I just came across and kind of laughed about it. I was like, oh shit. I'm probably gonna get 2 or 5 cents per these things flipping around everywhere, So I don't know, just funny. But yeah, as far as trying to figure out what kind of edition I want to do, or if I want to do 1 out of 10, it's kind of random. There's no rule book on it. If I really love the piece, I don't know, maybe I'll do 1 of 1. But sometimes it's just a mood. Sometimes I'm I want to be just make a rare piece. I'll just be making 1 of 1s now. Screw it, and then I'll go, oh, edition time, So it's kind of random,
Yeah, I wanted to give a testimony as a collector that sometimes the artists that I like, they're just so expensive. Let's say I like some artist and his cheapest piece is, let's say, I don't know, $1,000. I can't drop that much money on a piece. One thing, I mean, it's just too much. Right. And as a collector, I mean, I would rather have a little an addition of a piece, but at least I have something. Some artists, I just don't have anything. It's just too expensive. Yeah. I know it's a little bit prohibitive in that sense, and it's an attraction of a trash art in a sense sometimes that it is affordable. Yeah, and that's what I like Rarible, because it is still affordable. I can't buy shit on a super rare. It's just prohibitive, pricing prohibitive. I can't afford that.
Right.
I don't even look at
You
the
have to,
super
like,
rare.
you have to sit on the sidelines and just like gaze in the glory.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because like there's big like disagreements with like editions, you know, only one of ones, you know, but the big money hasn't come yet. Really, I'm telling you straight up, like 150K for a piece is not that much. Okay, the PP pieces are getting sold for 300 million. Okay, and that's just the old art world. Okay, we haven't even talked about like crypto art world prices in the future, because if you look at the graph on the crypto art or in the fine art world, it just goes vertical. Okay, it's like the Salvatore money will be beat someday. Okay, and I'm sure it's going to be a crypto art piece. Now, here's the thing with multiple editions, and okay, this piece behind me. Okay, shout out to David, but from KO. But this piece, I priced it. Okay, there's like I think 25 editions, right? I priced them at $1 million each. Okay, I said fuck it. Okay, $1 million each. I said screw it. Right. Now here's the thing. It's kind of a joke, right? But what I'm saying with it is that they're already doing like a fractionalized art line. Like, you know, they're trying to do the Andy Warhol piece and all these things. And soon enough, there's going to be a crypto art piece that sells 25 editions or 10 editions. And there will be like, it's like horse racing where there's a team of people that invest in one horse. There'll be the same thing with an art piece. There'll be like an art buying team that each puts in $1 million for this one magnificent piece because they don't have 25 million to throw down. But they sure will put 1 million in to let the value of that thing go up. So, so I think the multiple edition thing, like right now, people are like looking at every edition as a singular piece. I don't look at it that way. I look at it as every addition to the addition of the whole thing is the value of that piece completely. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think the psychology has to change right now. But right now, it's still young. So like when multiple editions are getting sold, people are treating it as singular things, and I don't look at it that way. I'm kind of looking at the future that people are going to do fractionalized art buying. They're trying it already, and it's working. And it's only a matter of time, I think.
What I like,
I think
what I
in
like
terms
about
of valuing different
Okay.
editions. Sorry, second round. You can go ahead.
no, that's all good. Go ahead.
I was just going to give props to Rob Ness for kind of doing both, like having these prices that the traditional art world will respect, but also, you know, like the shareware pieces where we were just, you know, you were sending out and paying out of pocket to send out tons of free art to people and onboard people and give them their first piece of crypto art just for dropping an ETH address and a comment.
Yeah.
I think that's very important. I'm so stoked to see that we have somebody else joining us here. But I wanted to say thank you for doing that. I think it's important not only to have pieces that collectors want to pay a bunch of money for, but also like people can, you know, just collect because they enjoy the art at any price range and have for free or $5 or 20 cents or whatever.
One person to the other, right? The free stuff gets expensive.
An edition of a piece, but at least I have something. Some people, like some artists, I just don't have anything. It's just
If you're not talking, mute it because you'll get feedback. So everyone who just joined the chat, welcome Yuna, welcome Mohini. Please, everyone who's not chatting, please mute your microphone.
So thank you, Rob Ness, for being down to do all that, and thank you for putting all the gas money into that.
I can't afford that.
What
Rob. Where are you at right now? Like, where are you streaming from? What's going on with the fire in your house and everything? Yeah, it's Yuna. Hey.
Okay, sorry. I thought I was going to ask somebody else.
Let's take a continuity.
Hey,
Can we get
Sorry, I'm so sorry.
Good morning.
Yeah, the evacuation orders were lifted yesterday, so literally across the street is like it's hilarious, man. Like it just came out of nowhere, and all of a sudden, oh, there's a fire, like Silverado fire. Here it is, boom, and it just kept getting closer, and then we had to like get a hotel room for like 3 or 4 days. Luckily, the place isn't burned to the ground. So blessings for that. But yeah, thank you for the concern. Appreciate that.
Sweet. Yuna, did you have like a crypto related question or like want to join the chat and talk about crypto?
Yeah, I want to know what you guys. Okay, so you all have your social tokens, and the IRS right now is like going crazy with crypto. You know, having it on the forums coming up. So, what do you think's going to happen with the social tokens in the
That's a good
future?
question. I mean, yeah, sorry.
Can you hear me? It's second round.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
All right, good. Yeah, for me, my social token isn't really tied to any value. So I don't really see an IRS issue right now.
If the IRS sues me, it's more press.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Perfect.
It is. You know what's funny about that? Because I talked with this guy. I was working at this deli like years and years ago, and he worked. He worked for. He did tours for all these bands, you know. But he worked for Prince. And you name it. He would come every like so often, and, like complain about all the gigs he worked on. But we were talking about like Gnarls Barkley and like how they first broke out with the song "Crazy," you know. And he was one of the guys who helped, like, I guess, put the tape in K-Rock to like play it, you know. But he was talking about Danger Mouse and, you know, the whole EMI thing with doing the Grey album, you know, like he burst into fame because the press was all over him for that, you know, like you had the Beatles and Jay-Z going after him, or EMI, I should say, you know, not them two, but like EMI. But yeah, I don't know, man. If it generates controversy, screw it, you know, like I'll take the hit, whatever. But that's the truth, really. And I don't know, it's like, with the social token stuff, if it is risky, right? I mean, Howard Hughes had to fly a plane and you know, and break the law to make that shit happen. So I don't know. It's like it's one of those things. It's like in order to do some innovative stuff, sometimes you have to like break certain conventions, and that's unfortunate. And some people, they don't like hearing that. But really, to try some new, and especially with currency too, it's like. Bitcoin is the #1 bandit, isn't it? Didn't ask questions, just did it and broke every single law on the planet. And now look what we got. So I don't know. Like I guess I'm kind of like one of those old school Bitcoin like maximal. I even hate to say maximalism because now it's such a bad word, but there is like an ethos that I still kind of have as far as like what Bitcoin has done, as far as decentralization, as far as open source. As far as literally not asking for any permission whatsoever to do it, and completing its goal, and literally flipping JP Morgan's head and saying, oh, it's a scam, to, oh my God, we have to go now, you know? So those are all the kind of things that kind of like play in my head with that, especially the social token, because it can get kind of hairy for sure. Even with Rarible's governance token, like people were wondering, you know, the legalities of that. So yeah, it's all up in the air. It really is, you know?
But we are entering in the phase where the state and money will be separate. So we are in the good track. So no worries. Yeah,
right.
freedom.
Yeah, I mean,
we will achieve the freedom. We are very close. So, well, I'm here in South America, so I don't give a shit. But but you know, state and money will definitely separate, and we will be free. So
banks and governments will put up a fight before.
Yeah, of course.
A big fight before we get to that point.
Of course, but it's worth to fight that fight, you know?
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
We need a freedom.
I got a question for Yuna.
Okay, go.
Yeah, okay. You got a full family and everything. How is it hard? How hard is it to do crypto art with all the rest of life, like getting in the mix?
I feel like I'm going insane most of the time.
Yeah.
I homeschool them. I'm always doing art, and I have OCD, and plus you know, I can't focus on nothing hardly. So I'm just a mess. I'm a mess all the time.
Just how
really love your videos, Yuna.
Thank you. The first one was like so nerve-wracking, but now I'm just kind of getting used to just, you know, being nuts and talking to everybody.
It's perfect.
Should we talk about copyrights? Should we talk about that?
Yeah, talk about it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Copy what?
Yeah, what is copyright in crypto art, really?
Copyright is a meme.
It is.
I don't know. Does anybody want to riff on this real quick, or?
I mean, I technically, copyright laws are different everywhere, right? Like, I mean,
Right.
last month, a UK court said that Banksy can't sue Hallmark for using a flower thrower because he won't tell them who he actually is.
Yeah.
So like for all of us in crypto art right now, like 90% of us are using pseudonyms. So really, good luck copyrighting anything.
In
Yeah.
China, you can copy whatever, and is for that. You know, there is no copyright law, so you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting too, since this thing's so global. There's copyright laws and certain systems everywhere. I mean, I talked with Sasha Bailey, and he mentions copyright laws in Europe, in England more so, but and it's different how it operates everywhere, and it's weird because like here's like the globe, and then like crypto is like just flying over it no matter what. It's just gonna, you know, and what are they going to shut down the internet because they can't control copyright law? Like it's like it's kind of funny to me. So like I've had my bouts with copyright discussions and in the past, and like I still am kind of like I'm just ditching copyright completely. Like I've even just stated that I'm an open source artist, which means you can literally take all my artwork, you can copy it. Okay, you can take the thing that's behind me and you can copy that shit right now and mint it. Okay, I don't care. Like I'm going that crazy with it. And primarily it's because that I believe that like I'm putting like full 100% belief that the address and the timestamp that it was minted in is going to be the strong paint that merges with the image. You know, there is problems with people tokenizing other people's art before they do, which is, you know, I think that'll get fleshed out soon enough because, you know, all the artist has to do is literally declare on Twitter like, hey, like I'm getting my artwork's getting stolen, so that'll be like voided. But I do believe that like the timestamp and when it gets married to the image is like a very, very strong thing. I consider it as strong as oil to me, you know. So the copyright question, I think, or like being a copyright cop and chasing everyone after copyrights, I think you're just wasting time. You're wasting time on making more art, in my opinion. You know, you could be making another grand masterpiece instead of having to chase somebody down for like doing a marble card. You know what I mean? Like that kind of shit. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the copyright thing.
Yeah, I'll
Second
share my
round,
thought.
you have these remixes. Why remixing other things and not the one that you did? That's an open question, right?
Yeah, and I love remixing. I mean, shoot, I do electronic music. I make hip hop and a bunch of stuff on audio engineering, and I'm so used to remixing stuff all the time. So I'm kind of coming from that mentality as well, is that like don't limit remixing. You never know what's going to come out for the next thing. And who knows? Like it's like that artist that was like doing a tribute to your work or doing an homage or saying, hey man, I really respect your stuff and I'm going to use it, this and that. Like if that piece gets anywhere and makes any headway, it's like, you know, like it comes back to you. You know, I really firmly believe that. So I think limiting is not probably the best personally.
The first thing I would say is life is a remix. So if you think you're doing anything original, you don't know anything about history. You know,
I agree.
I mean, let's be serious.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, Exabot, in terms of remixing, the why I remix is to push buttons. 100%.
Yeah, it's clear. It's clear the intention, the
buttons.
message, and everything. Yeah.
I remixed Miss Al Simpson primarily because of the abuse that Tonya received. You know, nobody should get abused for creating art. I don't care how much you like it or don't like it. You don't get death threats. And so I remixed it, and she blocked me. You know what? Block that ass. I don't care. That remix is still out there. You know, Colin remixes my stuff all the time. I'm good with that. Remix away. I've never called myself a sovereign artist. Remix away. That's fine for me. You know, you want to take my stuff? Go ahead. I know what I did. My collector base will know what I did, and that's what matters to me.
And remixes bring attention to the original. There's no question about that. Whether you think the remix is in good taste or not, art is an attention game, and remixes bring you attention. That's the two facts you need to know.
Yeah. And I just love the ethos. I mean, that's the culture we're in. You know, I mean, the meme culture is literally that. I mean, it's in how fast it gets transmitted. So like I'm part of the remix team or whatever. But and it's a funny thing because I mean, there's a lot of disagreements with artists in space, and you know, there's some people that are like, I really didn't just jive with that person, but I'm still friends with them.
But in history, Marcel Duchamp did the remix in the Mona Lisa Monster. So that's the way, you know, I understood what is crypto art about and all this movement, because, okay, I was in this design industry, creative, all the copyrights, not do anything that was done before. And then see this in crypto art remixing and all this stuff. And I was like, okay, let's see in traditional art what happened in history. And it's evident that, you know, through all the history, art history, you see that inspiration from another creator, and it like opens the gate, the portal to the next generation. You know, that's what happened with Duchamp, for example. No?
Yeah, like don't give me a reason to make something that's gonna like just really rattle the feathers. Like that's like almost artist DNA. Like you literally given me the open door to like, okay, I gotta make something art. I gotta make some art about this. That's for sure, because it's like it needs to be spoken about, you know. So that's kind of like an artist's duty.
Do you guys think that like it's something kind of different with crypto art with the copyright thing? It's something new and learned because you're coming from traditional where copyright was everything protective, and now you're so liberated. Like it's a learning curve. I would say for anyone getting into this, like leaving that behind.
Well, when I got into crypto art, I reached out to Rob Ness, and we talked quite a bit about the address being like the proof of ownership, the proof of creating the idea, and that being more important than copyright. I think copyright is outdated, and it comes from a time when ideas moved rather slowly, and it was to protect the value of the original creator and their family, their heirs. But I think culture moves so swiftly now and so fast that there is more value in the idea moving out of the creator's hands quickly than being with one individual and that family's passing on the wealth to the next generation. I think it's better served to everybody if the idea is shared freely. And crypto is an open community. I think most people here appreciate open platforms, especially with trash art. I think we appreciate open source software. There's no reason that visual ideas should be any different. And we're allowed to quote people and cite sources and share ideas, whether it's text. I think it should be the same for visual images.
I have a lot of people ask me, can I remix your NFT? I just bought your NFT. Can I turn it into an animation, or can I add audio to it? And I'm almost always inclined to be like, yeah, absolutely. But it makes me think, what if you sell my NFT? Will the owner now feel weird about the fact that the remix exists? I want the remix to exist, but then I feel, because of this provenance, some kind of responsibility to the owner almost. And I'd love to hear y'all's thoughts on that.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point, because it could be a new collector and they don't know the original sources where it came from. So I do that is a good point. I guess for me, it's just I see like especially from the music world, because the music world is really known for remixing. But like, even though some artists like didn't get the credit that they deserve, I think they have a better chance now in crypto to do that. As far as how the addresses work and how the provenance works and so forth. But it's like, for me, it's like, like the funky drummer, the guy who's been sampled the most of all time, he didn't get to like receive that much credit, for a lot of this, for the very one of the most like famous drum samples ever recorded, like in hip hop, And
right.
I think
the
now,
Amen break, right?
Yeah, the Amen break, yeah. It was Clyde Stubblefield, I believe. But I think now with blockchain technology, it'll be a little bit easier to prove, like, hey, that's Karan's work. Look, check it out. Boom, right there. And it'll be like that. See that it is your work, and you minted it at a point in time.
The question is, what is it?
Sorry, go ahead.
For sure. The question for me is, what does it look like? Like in terms of now, all of us here want this open source world. We want this freedom. I want anyone to be able to mess with my stuff. But I would feel weird if I sold the NFT for $50 and somebody sold the remix for $5 million. You know, I would feel weird. How do we follow up on kind of, I'm an anti-copyright person, but if I was in that spot, I would be like, how do I get compensation here? What's the methodology? Like, that doesn't exist yet, but how would we follow through? Also, quick side note, just because this is important to me. My name is pronounced Curran, and I know you guys haven't heard my name before, so it's totally not anyone's bad. Just want to clear the air there.
So Curran, let me answer your question from my perspective. I don't feel responsible for a collector's feelings about buying my work after the fact. If it's a know your artist situation, and they know me and they know that artworks get remixed, they should buy knowing that works get remixed.
Right.
If they buy one off, and then later find out that it gets remixed and didn't do their own research, that's on them. That's not on me.
And that's one thing I wrote in Medium, is that if you can confuse the remix and the original, it's not a good remix.
Right. That's very well said.
And if I can make $50 on a work of crypto art and somebody can turn around and make $5 million off of a remix, you know, we both made money. Like, I'm happy that somebody would be able to get value from my ideas. And if they're able to turn that around, props to them, you know, like they earned it.
And Jay, I think it's important that everybody understands, because I know we all know, but maybe listeners don't. The early days of Rarible, between February, March, April, and May, there was no royalties. We have no ownership of any of those NFTs. They're all free.
And it sucks. It sucks.
Tell me.
I want back compensation.
What's funny about that is, like, from the beginning, when I was minting on Rarible, I would do maybe like one or two pieces, but like I kept minting on my OpenSea contracts and kept funneling it through. Like I was kind of like hacking Rarible in the beginning. I was like, wait, you could list your OpenSea items? Holy shit! Check this out. Just flooded the lobby with it. And then all of a sudden, then the train started rolling. Then I started seeing pixel chain items and all this stuff coming in. So that was kind of funny. But yeah, like those contracts, those gone. Yeah.
Well, my friends, this has been an epic conversation. How many people?
Thank God.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9 artists.
You need a part 2.
So I'm glad you brought that up. We're definitely having a part 2. So Coldy and I just pulled our brain cells together and our passions together. This was really a project of the heart, wanting to bring the community together. We did it in 2 weeks or less. It was like,
no, it's amazing. Honestly, I'd like to say that, no, seriously, what you and Colby pulled off is amazing. Like before I even logged on to this, and I just saw how everything's going. Amazing, dude. So thank you so much for that.
You are making history.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
The
you for
content's
making
been amazing. I've watched every
we are
video.
making history.
Cheers to that.
Yeah, we appreciate you being a part of this. And I brought up the 2 weeks to say that, we have a bigger runway planned for the next one. It's 2 more weeks, so it's a month. It's not that big, but it's about a month. And so it's an open invitation to all of you and to those who are listening. We're organizing Crypto Basel. So Rob, I like that you brought up a lot of the traditional world stuff and how the traditional market works and the prices. Everyone had excellent commentary to add. We'll be having a part 2 of this at Crypto Basel. So please mark your calendars. I don't want anyone feeling uninvited or looked over or not appreciated. I'm telling you now, to the whole cryptoverse, every news broadcaster, every magazine, every artist, every commenter, every sculpturalist, whatever you do, if it's crypto related, you are invited to participate in Crypto Basel. It will happen December 1st through the 7th. And if we have to extend it and make it the whole freaking month just to fit everybody in crypto in, we will do that. We will designate all of December.
That is a saintly undertaking.
Yeah. Listen, thank you for taking the time.
We're not going to do it alone, guys. We're not going to do it alone. We're literally 2 people, Coldy and I, with families and full-time jobs, okay?
Yeah.
So
let me know how I can help.
yes.
Thank you so much.
We need volunteers. This is really for the community. We would love all of you guys to be involved. And if you have special project, please let us know. Let's get behind this and make it special for the community. Power Surge, big shout out to you, man.
I actually have I do have an agenda. I don't know, you guys don't mind.
We're wrapping up.
So wrapping up, yes, it's a wrap. So
where can people follow you, Serge? Throw your shows out there.
All right, awesome. So do you guys feel like it's, I mean, today's Thursday, tomorrow's Friday, it's about to wrap up. Do you feel like maybe it's time to maybe have a party?
Whoop,
like
whoop.
I mean, not today, but maybe on Friday or Saturday, hang out at somewhere.
Glass Crane's place.
Huh?
We have a party at Glass Crane's place. He's offered his place for a party.
All right, an after party, nice.
Sounds like Serge.
Yeah.
You want to do a party too? That would be great.
Yeah. So I don't know. Let me know where to party. Let me know.
Where do you live? Let me know.
Right. I had an idea just partying somewhere like in the, I don't know, in the metaverse. Just, you know, whatever. All right, CryptoVoxel, sounds good. We can throw a party in like, I don't know, Sugar Club.
Sounds good. Thank
All
you
right.
very much, everyone.
You guys are awesome.
Out one more time so folks can follow you and ask you any questions, DM you any questions if they have. I'm a crypto art advisor on Instagram and yesuniverse.art on crypto art advisor on Twitter, universe.art on Instagram. I don't even know what I just said. I'm tired. I've got 2 jobs.
I'm Second Realm. Just go to secondrealm.com and you can find everything there.
I'm Seawood, and my name handle in Twitter is this one, my name, Javier Iturralde. So
Nice.
DM open, DM.
Robness official on Twitter. So
I'm Karn 40 everywhere. I know I hopped in late, but thank you guys for having me so much.
thank you. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks my co-host Coldy, who is Coldy on Twitter and Coldy.art on Instagram.
Thank you, Coldy, Lady Fee.
See ya.
Thank you guys
Thank
for
you,
having
Lady
me.
Phoenix. Thank you,
Much
Colby.
love.
Bye.
A big hug. Love you all. Thank you. Bye.
Bye, guys. All right, we're off. Good seeing y'all.
Such a trip watching you guys.
Yeah, it was great hanging out, y'all.
YouTube.
Got some more insight and stuff.
Let's
So
keep
everything was
meeting.
talking like an overlap. I forgot to turn it off.
Who's the last one to leave?
You, I'm watching.
All righty. I'll go. I'm sorry. All right. See you guys. Love you.
Bye-bye.
Good to
See
see
you
you.
guys. I gotta go do another one of these with crypto twerps.
I'm gonna watch everyone leave.
Okay. Mohini, these guys were all raving about how amazing your art was and how you had to join the chat, and then you were shy. So how about next time we're gonna just like all be silent so you can take it over for like 10-15 minutes.
Okay.
That would be great.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks a
Y'all
lot.
take care.
Cheers.